Some of the theory part we'll take first. Okay, now this is our chapter number 2, that is animation tool Synfig. So in the previous tool we have discussed, in the previous chapter we have discussed all the different type of multimedia elements and their usages. Okay, how they are used, their applications. So here, to create those presentation, okay, we have discussed that we need some application programs known as multimedia tools. Okay, so here they are known as multimedia authoring tools. Now these tools, okay, which we will use to create our presentation, provide the framework, okay, to organize properly and work on the different files, edit it, add sounds, add video, and all those things has to be done through application. So this application are known as multimedia authoring tools. So with the help of these tools only, we can create a presentation. Now, there are some categories in which the authoring tools are divided. So briefly, you can see that there are three categories here. First is card or page based tools. Second is icon and event based tools. And third one is time based tools. So these are different ways in which the authoring tools are divided. Here, we'll see the first one now. Let's see if some students are still left to join or not. So in the first category, that is the card or page-based tool, the elements are organized as page of a book or pile of cards. The authoring tool links these pages into an organized sequence. Tools are useful when the different elements can be viewed individually like the page of the book. Some examples of card-based tools are HyperCard and Multimedia Toolkit toolbooks. This first example, okay, first one of the tools, that is icon, they are applicable only for particular scenarios. Okay, whereas if you want to show the presentation in which you, you have to show the data or the presentation from card. Okay. Now, so if there are different pages, then they will have to be linked together, okay, in an organized manner. For linking purpose, for adding different elements, we have to use a tool. Okay, so here there are two specific tools, the name given. I think I have not heard them, and I think you also must have not heard them, HyperCard and Multimedia Toolbox. So these are very specific case scenario applications, okay, which are not used generally for every other creation purpose. So these are the name of the two tools that belong to the card or page category. So that you have to remember. Now we go to the second tool, that is the icon and event based authoring tools. In this, the elements are organized as objects in a structured framework or process. So event based or icon based. So here you need to build a flowchart of the events or tasks and then add the elements. So in the first one, we had to decide the content in an organized manner like a page. So one by one, the contents will be shown. In icon and event based authoring tool, we have to prepare a structure framework, okay, or a process or a flow chart. So we need to build a flow chart for this. So this event happened, then this has to be done, or this has to be done, and then the element has to be added. Now examples of icon and event based authoring tools are author, where, and icon author. Okay, so these are the two tools which are used for that purpose. Now the third category, which is the most used one, okay, out of all the different categories, this is the time-based authoring tool. So your elements are organized along a timeline. They are useful when you want to give a message that has a beginning and the elements are displayed as per the time or location of the event. Time-based authoring tools are the most popular amongst all. Some example of time-based authoring tools are Synfig, Pencil, Flash, and Director. So you see, out of the three, which is the most practical and most usable, that is the time-based authoring tools. Here, what happens? We have a timeline, okay, and on the timeline we have to decide the different elements when they will appear. So normally, when you edit your videos, okay, if you have edited your videos in your phone or in a computer, that tools are also time-based tools because we said right at the initial starting में क्या होगा first intro will be there, then this will come, then this will come, then this effect will be there. So what is happening? We are deciding the things or the element as per the time. Okay, so Synfig is also one of those type of tools जहाँ पे आपको टाइम के हिसाब से डिसाइड करना है कि कौन सा एलिमेंट अब दिखना चाहिए कौन सा नहीं. Now there are many multimedia tools available in the market. Some of these tools are proprietary. Proprietary मतलब क्या है कि they have license, okay, which we have to purchase. While others are open source. Some of the open source animation tools easily available on internet are Pencil and Synfig. So open source use करने का benefit I've already explained to you that it is freely available. We can modify it. We can understand the code also. We can see the code and all these things are possible. Okay, whereas in proprietary software this is not possible because they don't share with us the coding how this was created. So now we have two options here available. One is a Pencil and another one is Synfig. So these two tools help us for that purpose. Okay, because they are open source, they are preferred mode. Now, first we will see Pencil. Okay, Pencil is a 2D animation software. Now I have already explained to you what is 2D. Okay, 2D is nothing but two-dimensional animation. We have seen the example of Mickey Mouse and all those things. So those are the examples of 2D animation softwares. It lets you create traditional hand-drawn animation using both bitmap and vector graphics. Now, both the type of graphics are supported, bitmap and vector. You remember what is bitmap and what is vector graphics? Anyone who knows the difference, can just raise the hand and we can take the answers. Anyone who remembers what is bitmap and vector graphics? We have already done this in the first chapter. Yes, Harsh. Harsh, please speak. I am not able to hear you. Harsh, you are not audible. Are you able to use your mic properly? I think there is some problem, Harsh, with your mic. Anyone else who would like to answer this? The difference between bitmap and vector graphics. Okay, Mihir Patel from 11B. Mihir, I'm not able to hear you. Can anyone confirm whether they are able to hear Mihir or not?
No, sir. He is unable to. I am unable to hear his voice.
Okay, Mihir, please use your mic properly. I think you have not connected it properly, or it is not set up to work as a mic. I think someone else also has raised the hand. I think it was Harsh Chaudhary from 11B. Harsh Chaudhary from 11B, you can please go and answer.
Yes, sir. In bitmap images are not very clear and in vector sharp.
Hmm. Okay, anything else?
Hello, sir. Am I audible now?
Sir,
Yes, Harsh Bhansali, I can hear you now.
sir, in vector images, we can zoom as much we need, and images are still sharp. But in bitmap, it's not the same case. They are
Hmm. Okay, I got the
also
answer.
vector images. Sorry, vector graphics are used to make big posters and all.
Hmm. Okay, thank you so much. I've got good answers from your end. Your end. Now, one thing I would like to add is vector graphics are based on mathematical equations. So that is how they are able to scale themselves. Okay, whereas bitmap are based on pixels. So those dots are fixed. We cannot change them later on. So this is the difference between the two softwares. Sorry, two types of graphics. Now Now we can see that link is given here, that is pencil-animation.org, and it is available on various platforms like Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So this tool is available for all the different type of platforms. This is the advantage of open source software, that they are available for every platform. Okay, sometimes it happens that some software like those softwares which are proprietary are not available for every platform. Now we can see in the figure 2.1, which is going to show us the interface of pencil software. Now, almost all the software have a familiar interface. Okay, you can see this is the interface of Pencil. So you have already familiar Paint. So these are the simple tools which we can use to draw. And now this is the timeline here. Okay, so as per time we can decide the animation. Now we go to our Synfig Studio. Now Synfig Studio is something which we are going to use in our syllabus. Okay, it is there in our syllabus, so we have to use this tool. Synfig Studio is a time-based multimedia authoring tool that falls in the category of open source. It is available free of cost on the internet and can be downloaded from the given website. Synfig Studio, or simply Synfig, is a 2D vector animation software released in 2005 under the GNU GPL. It is designed to produce film quality animation with fewer people and resources. Okay, it is also available on different platforms like Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. The first version was 0.61.05, and currently the latest version, as per the book, is 0.63. So now problem is our book is having screenshots of all those of this 0.63 version. Okay, but I'll tell you one thing. Now they have updated. They have different versions also. So it is better if we move on. But there is one problem. Okay. Problem is 0.63.05 is very much buggy. It has so much bugs in it. So much problems are there. But our book has all the screenshot and all the book follows this particular version. So what we have to do now? We are in a dilemma. We have to use latest version or the version which is given in the book. What do you all suggest? Which is better?
Sir, we should use the latest version.
Okay. Any other solution? What can be the problem if we use latest version?
There will be some bugs.
See, and what is the problem if we use older version?
We will
The
not
older version will be a bit
latest
laggy
features.
also.
Now I will tell you something from the exam point of view. Now in examination, the questions will more probably come from the textbook. Okay, and textbook has all the interface, their options. Okay, as per the book, we have to follow for our safety because questions will be coming from the book only. So it is better if we go with the older version. Okay, I have both the versions installed in my computer. You also can install both the versions, but the version which we have to work is 0.63.05. So that you can also work on your own at your home because you can follow the book if you have the older version. So this is a compromise which we have to do in case if we want to use the Synfig in a such a way that our examination point of view is also covered. Okay, so let us just go through the older version once, and if you all are able to do it nicely on the older version, then it is fine. Otherwise, we will move on to the new version. Okay, we have no problem because examination will be conducted in school only. So I have the authority to decide how we are going to frame the question. Now, we move forward now. So Synfig is going to store the animation in a particular format that is XML, often compressed using compression software Ghseb, which stands for GNU zip. So XML is a format in which the animation information will be stored. This files use the file extension .si. देखो यहाँ पे एनिमेशन कैसे स्टोर हो रहा है XML, बट फाइल फॉर्मेट क्या यूज होगा .sif in uncompressed and or .sifz in compressed. So we have to remember this also. Okay, the file extension used. So this is the just intro about Synfig. Then we can see the tool. Okay, this is the screenshot of Synfig. So I have already installed Synfig. Okay, here you can see the screenshot. I'm going to show you the screen. This is Synfig. Can you see the software? Is this
This is older version or newer version?
this is the newer version? See, this is the new version, and this is our older version through our textbook. Okay, so some cosmetic changes are there. It is looking much more modern, something like that. Plus, advantages, many bugs were there which were solved in the new version. Now we also have the older version in my computer. Okay, let me check that also. I think I'm having two versions in my computer, so it might be having some conflict. Just we'll wait for a few seconds. Let it start. Okay, I think there is some error now because I am using this software on my Mac laptop. So these are all Windows application. So I'm using a simulator. In that I have installed this. So therefore there is some issue here because I'm not able to run both the versions here. Okay, I will try it later on to uninstall and then install it again. Then I will show you how the older version is working. Okay. So for timing, we'll just pause it here and just show you here this interface here. This is similar to what the older version looks. So here we have something known as the toolbox. Okay, these are all the toolbox here. You all are already familiar with toolbox when you were using the pen tool. Okay, this is toolbox here. So here there are different different type of shapes which we can use in our canvas. Okay, we have to draw so many things, so we need different type of shapes. So these all shapes are available here. Even color picker is here. Okay, and then this is the canvas. As you can see, it is written in a canvas. This canvas is nothing but a blank area where we will be drawing. This is not the panels. Now, what are panels actually? Panels are nothing but helper tools here. Okay, they help us to see different things like layers, like history. We can zoom into the canvas from here. Okay, if someone has used Photoshop now or any other tool for editing, they can easily understand this tool. Okay, it is very easy to understand. And those who don't know, no problem. We will see the practical, and that time you will be able to understand it properly. Okay, so now I think time is up. 8 minutes are left, so we'll end here now. Next time we will resolve the issue of Synfig old and new also, and then we will continue with practicals. Okay, so next class will be directly practical class where we will see how to use the toolbox properly. Okay, thank you so much. Any question or queries?
Sir, so we have to install Synfig version 0.63.05.